Hey there, Discover Family Church. Hope you guys are doing well today. This morning, I want to talk to you about Kentucky Fried Chicken. And that sounds weird, but follow me along here for a second. How many times does it seem like everything is against you? There's so many times in life when where I've been doing exactly what I felt God wanted me to be doing, but I hit a wall at every turn. I remember back whenever I was doing the Bike for the Light tours and I was riding my bicycle across the country, and I booked all these services that I was going to speak at all over the country. And I remember booking the very first tour, and when I started booking through the state of California, I hit a wall. It took me about 4 months to book the entire 9 months of the tour. And out of those 4 months, 3 months of those were just booking California. But see, the thing is this, we've all met those things. We've felt like God wanted us to do something, but it's just wall after wall after wall. I even look at where we're at right now as a church. Like I know God wanted us to move into our building, to do all that kind of stuff. And then we move in and 3 months later, COVID. I mean, that's a wall. And no more services, giving drops and things become tight and hard to make it, it's hard to make rent and it's hard to, all these things, and it's just these walls. But I know God called us to do it. And the thing is this, is if you feel that God wants you to do something, you can't let adversity change your mind. Honestly, in my mind, that if you're experiencing adversity, it means you're probably doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Because I don't know about you, but the Bible's full of people that experienced adversity. They experienced hard times. And that brings me to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, he was 65 years old. And you might have heard this story. It's such a cool story. It was 65 years old when he received his very first Social Security check. And it was for $99. And he was absolutely broke. He owned a little small house, had an old beat-up car, and at that moment when he got that check for $99, he said, you know what? Life has to change. And the only idea he had was he had a chicken recipe that his friends really liked him to make. And so with that idea in mind, he basically took a big step, took big action. He left Kentucky where he lived, and he went all over the U.S. to sell his idea. And he basically told restaurant owners that he had this awesome chicken recipe idea, this awesome chicken recipe, and he was going to give it to them for free. And all he wanted in return was for the restaurants to basically pay him a small percentage of the pieces of chicken that they sold. Which, let's be honest, is a little bit of a weird idea. McDonald's, I have a great idea, and you just give me a cut of each one. But this was a long time ago, and maybe it was more normal then. But this is what his idea was, and it sounds like a great idea, right? But obviously it wasn't, because he was rejected over and over and over again. All he got was rejections, people saying no. But he didn't give up. To be exact, he actually received 1,009 rejections before he got his first yes. Took him over 1,000 tries to get a yes. And with that one success, Colonel Heartland Sanders literally changed the eating habits of the entire world. Kentucky Fried Chicken is the largest and most populous, or there's more locations of Kentucky Fried Chicken than any. You might think it's McDonald's, but it's not, because you got to think of all of Asia and so they love some Kentucky Fried Chicken all around the planet. And KFC is everywhere, and it has changed the way the world has eaten. But my question is simply this: how many of you would keep knocking on doors after you've received 1,000 rejections? Probably not many of us. And honestly, I think that's why the idea of success seems out of reach for us. It's not that it's out of reach. It's that we don't persevere long enough to get to it. When it comes to ministry and making a difference in the world, I think it's even truer. If you think about Moses going in front of Pharaoh 10 times before anything happened. 10 times he went in front of Pharaoh. And he even had plagues and stuff going on, and it Still nothing. 10 times. Remember the story of Gideon. We talked about it a few times in the last month. He losing his entire army before he won the greatest battle of his life. Church, just remember this today. That age isn't a barrier to success. Money isn't a barrier to success. All you need is an idea that God has his hand on and be willing to put it into action even when you get rejected. See, God has a plan and you are crucial to it. Let me close with this. There's a verse from 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. This is the Message version of this verse, and I love it. It says, "So we're not giving up. How could we? Even though on the outside it often looks like things are falling apart on us, on the inside, where God is making new life, not a day goes by without his unfolding grace. These hard times are small potatoes compared to the coming good times, the lavish celebration prepared for us. There's far more here than meets the eye. The things we see now are here today, gone tomorrow, but the things we can't see now will last forever." I love that. Well, the bad stuff happened, that's small potatoes. We got God on our side. Come on. He has a plan, and you're crucial to it. So don't give up. Love you.